Did you know you could change your past? Yep, you can, and I'm not talking about time travel. I'm talking about right now. We can change your past. Do you not like your past? Is your past part of your present tense frustration, anxiety, anger, or not feeling good about your life or yourself? We can change that. We can do it today. It's going to take some work, but I'm going to demonstrate to you exactly how to do that, how it works. It could transform absolutely everything. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. I'm laughing because there's a really strong wind out there and I think it just blew over a few of my plants. I'll have to go check on that in a moment. All right, you want to change your past? We can do it right now. What about your past would you love to change? Now, some people have said, can I have different parents? We're going to start with one thing. Everything has been chosen by you. All right? You can make completely different choices from this day forward about everything in your life. Everything. How you feel, how you think, the person you're going to become, your wealth, your relationships, everything in your life. That's a choice at the moment. But what happens if you've had a past that you feel is really controlling you right now? Maybe you did have abusive parents or all these other things. Everything that you've experienced up until this point has 100% been planned and chosen by you. All right? I know a lot of you don't want to believe that. I would never choose abuse. Well, congratulations if you did. That's one of the biggest challenges because what do you want to do? You want to forgive. You want to look at that other person if you want to go into that place of peace and you want to ask yourself, can I forgive this thing that has happened to me by this person who's obviously damaged? Can I go into the space of ultimate compassion? Isn't that what Christ did? Ultimate forgiveness? We have to do that ourselves if we want to go into that space of total enlightenment. That's what enlightenment is. There are no problems. There is no victim. There are no bad people. There is no evil. There's just experiences of every facet of what we as intelligent energy can be. That's it. Yeah, that's it, except for it doesn't feel so good, right? So let's say you're not feeling so good. Let's say that you're in bad relationships, or let's say challenging relationships that you've chosen because you just don't think highly of yourself. So I want you to just ask yourself, what about your past would you like to change? What about your past is painful that you would like to change? We were broke, or I was made fun of in school, or my parents weren't nice to me, or I didn't get love, or all these other things. Name it all. Here's how you change it. Because when you do what I'm about to share with you, when you do this, you will become a completely different person in the present moment, and everything in your future will now shift into a completely different reality. Completely. It must. That's how it works. The quantum field. It shifts you. Because you are no longer the person who is feeling anger, anxiety, or lack, or anything else. You now shift into completely different probability, and you now materialize your reality in that. Just by your thought about your past, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I want you to write down everything that you feel is damaging and hurtful in your past. I want you to take a really good look at that and understand that there are other people who you chose to, let's just say, play this role out with in order to challenge you. Everything along that journey, along in your adventure, is 100% your choice of how you think about it. How am I going to think about this? What are my thoughts and what are my choices within the challenge? And you could say, well, I was a child. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You chose it. It's part of your childhood that you chose. Yeah, I know some of it's really painful. Some of it stinks, right? But there is no angry God. There's only a loving one. There's not a 2 or a 3. There's only one. That means that you can't be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. You must be of the one. In other words, you are the essence of total love, compassion, forgiveness, and just learning with no judgment, no right nor wrong. What did I learn from this? I want you to take that past that you write down that you don't like, and I want you to write a new story. And this might seem real simple. That's it? Yeah, that's it. Because I'm going to tell you what? When you do this, it will empower you and completely change the quantum field that you are focused on. Completely change it. And now you are over here, seeing that past completely different, and you've changed. You literally have changed your past. You are now not seeing a victim. You are now seeing a person who chose, or let's just say an energy field, a perfect energy field that chose a challenging situation with other people who agreed to participate in that and have their own learning within that too. All right? They get to make choices along the way also. And you look at it as part of a play that's not who and what you are, but what you're experiencing, and that this too shall pass, because with that information, you get to make choices about who and what you are. And when you change that from victim to absolutely a master student, then you no longer are burdened by the past. You see it as an absolute triumphant decision that you made of change. Triumphant, because it no longer is something that controls you. You now see what it is, a temporary learning situation for you to master the challenge of being a human being. Because when we do that, we take the entire planet to a new space, a new frequency. And that is what your challenging past is there for you to do with. When you change it, you now become released of the negative energy. The lower frequency energy dissipates. You raise your frequency. You are now connecting to completely different frequencies and different realities. You are now feeling pretty amazing because you did choose that cray-cray past. And a lot of the things that we look at that we think are bad, we can realize aren't bad. Let's say it's not even abuse. Maybe you just, had some poverty or some challenges in life. A lot of times we just, as human beings, think that shouldn't happen. Of course, that's what we came here for, is to have those challenges. It's never going to end until you leave this body. And then other things are going to challenge you. Who knows? You may go up there and become a guardian angel if you master this. Wouldn't that be nice? And we can watch other people struggle and help them out. So what are you going to do with your past? How are you going to change it? Right now, what are you going to do with that? Let's rewrite it. All right? And so none of this looking down on people, well, I bless them because they're evil. No, they're not evil. Nobody's evil. We're just playing out rules of what that can be. Because nobody actually comes from that. So if you can't be created nor destroyed, you must have come from the one perfect energy field that is just playing out a role. That's it. If you can see it that way, then you realize nothing harms me. Nothing can take me down. That's just a story. So what's my new story? Because when I see that past differently, I become a completely new person. And the gateways will open it. And the universe is singing. And of course, not separate from you, but saying your higher self is going, yay, you got it. There never was a problem. There was just the challenge. What did you learn from it? That you can forgive, and that maybe you don't even have, I always say this, when you really go to a super high awakened state, you don't have to forgive anybody because you don't think anybody did anything wrong. You just say, oh, we played this out. What did I learn from it? You're not thinking, I have to forgive you because you did something wrong. Nope, they didn't do anything wrong. They played out exactly what we all agreed to. So they're not at fault ever. Now, whatever they do with their own energy field, they're going to have to, go through the cause and effect consequences of those decisions. That's none of our business. That's their choice. Focus on you. No more blame, no more victim. Wah, wah, wah. You know what? Get off the planet. Get off the planet if you didn't want to come here and get majorly, let's just say, challenged. This is the master plan. This is the master class. You had an amazing journey before you got here. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to get to planet Earth. A very select few have come here. I know. What? When's it going to be over with? Soon enough. What are you going to do with it right now? Are you going to torture yourself and tell yourself this is who you are? Or are you going to change who this is by changing that past, what you think of it, and who you are right now? Not the damaged person, never the victim, but the victor. Are you ready to do that? Write down the new thoughts about why these things have happened to you and how you can triumph through them. You don't have to forgive anybody. If you're not ready to do that, it's okay. At some point you will. At some point you're going to realize, I don't want to thank them, right? I don't want to thank them. That's okay. You don't have to thank anybody. All you have to say is, I don't understand why we agreed to this, because I'm not in my higher self thinking right now. There is no thinking when you're in the higher self. There's no having to work everything out like a psychologist would. There's just an understanding that we don't always have the answers, but we know one thing. Nothing's random. There's no chaos in the universe. Even chaos has an order in it, organization to it. Please subscribe. I've got many more practices for you to do. We're going to take one at a time. We're going to keep breaking these down to clear up any of the lower frequency energies that you are ready to let go and take you to that higher earth, because we're transitioning into the Great Awakening. It's happening. It is. Many people are transitioning, already have, and still participating in this. But it no longer, they don't see it the same way. And all of a sudden they see the opportunities to be amazing and to learn, to continue to learn on planet Earth. So, anybody who's interested in my internet training, this is a free video series that talks about how people are transforming their lives. We're taking new pathways, we're learning new things, we're getting out of our own buttholes and starting to see that there's a big old sun out there shining, and all we have to do is let it in, start learning new things. If this isn't your thing, come over to Manifest Anything, my weekly video series. It's free. You'll get invited to my courses. I have monthly webinars. Come on over. It takes practice because we forgot who and what we are. I'm going to do my video on the higher self. I hope you'll catch that one. Guess what? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Not only can you subscribe, but I hope that you'll share my videos and spread the positive word and not that of fear. We're done with that, aren't we? Yeah. Let's explore this amazing space that I'm going to take you into if you choose it. You ready? Let's go there. Namaste.